Hey everyone, I'm super happy to be in the NPI Summit 2025 in Paris. So, Simon Bacon, how are you? Who are you? Can you give me a bit more about that?
Absolutely.
Please.
Thank you for having me. So I'm Simon Bacon. I'm a professor at Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. And I am the chair, FRQS chair in AI and digital health behavior change. And a long time collaborator with Greg Nino. So I've been involved in various different aspects around the formation of MPIS and so on across time.
Okay, that's a first introduction. Nice one, but we are in NPI's 2025 in Paris. Why are you there? What do you do?
Great question. So the work that I do, I define myself as a behavioral scientist.
Yeah.
So fundamentally interested in understanding why people do what they do, and then taking that information to develop interventions that help them positively change their behaviors.
Okay.
So this area where behavior change interventions, behavioral interventions really is overlaps beautifully with MPISs. I mean, most of the stuff that we do could be considered a non-pharmacological intervention.
Yeah.
And so that's, a lot of work. And we do that both at the individual level, at the systems level, population level, and even at policy level as well. So certainly the work that we do around individuals and in the medical community overlaps with a lot of the work that's been presented here. And that's one of our strong interests.
Okay. And what's your really connection with the NPI, or maybe Gregory Nino? Did you know him before?
So I've known Greg for maybe 15, 16 years. Yeah. So we had it's a long history, but he came
it's
to
not yesterday.
he came to Montreal. So we've been to virtually every conference that he started. He started his first ones in 2008, I think. He had his first meeting.
At the beginning,
Yeah, at the very beginning. So we've been there. We've then in addition, we developed this thing called the International Behavioral Trials Network, which is a parallel organization to this, that very much focuses on that behavioral piece. And where the overlap comes is very much around how we go about developing and testing these interventions, making sure we're more rigorous in doing that, making sure that when we report the results of our interventions, we're very clear about what we did. And then that feeds beautifully into the registry, the MPIS registry, where you can start describing those things. And once we build that strong evidence base, once we're very clear about what these interventions do, that then moves nicely into the possibilities of having those funded and incorporated in various different healthcare and community settings and systems.
Yeah, right. And you are speaking about the possibilities and possibilities between AI, NPI. What do you have in mind?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So a large part of our research program is around digital health interventions. And there's a couple of areas that we incorporate the AI aspects. The first is really around sort of decisional processes. So if you really want to get smart about personalizing interventions, what you want is to be able to take in as much information as possible. So stuff about themselves, stuff about their histories, stuff about people that like them, stuff about what we know from theory and from the literature, and help use that to guide what pieces of behavior change sort of tools that you might give to people. So we use it. We have a base structure for our digital intervention. We use some machine learning aspects where we filter that information to try and be more sophisticated. The other area, which is a little bit more complex, so it's deep learning models around expression recognition. So we do a lot of video capture within our intervention platforms, and what we're trying to do is pick up.
So you have a camera, you are with a practitioner, and
this could be done on a phone or it's a tablet or anything like that. Any device.
All right.
So and most of them have cameras embedded in them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what we do is as part of our assessment process, we'll ask people things like, how are you doing with your behavior? How did you do with your behavior this week?
Okay.
And as people talk about it, what we're trying to pick up actually is ambivalence and hesitancy. So that, it kind of went well, but because these are key cues in terms of where people start to deviate away from the great work they've been doing, and that's a cue for us to then intervene in a slightly different way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So we're trying to use all these kinds of tools.
That's amazing.
To really get the right information to the right people at the right time, so that we can facilitate that behavior change process.
The personalization is the way, and AI could be contributes a lot for that. And about the future, how do you see the future NPI and AI and your work and the future?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. Obviously, the various different forms of AI are going to fundamentally change. They are fundamentally changing how we do everything. There's going to be large questions about, intervention delivery, large language models being the actual intervener, the use of AI in the way that we are in terms of describing and defining how interventions unfold. I think one of the challenges in all of this is the fact that the technology is going to move so rapidly.
Yeah, right.
How do we keep up with it? How do we integrate it? But more importantly, how do we effectively test that, right? One of the things we're already seeing is standard trial methodology, right? We start a study, the digital platform and intervention that we start with, with the various cycling of innovation.
Yeah, right.
A year later, if you haven't if you're still finishing your trial, you're probably on, version 10 of the platform. And then it's kind of like, well, what are we really testing? What do we make sense of that? And that becomes important to be able to understand, and that'll be the trick, right? How do we really get the methodology to be able to do that, do it really effectively, so that when we get to the end, the product that we have is clearly what we've tested, and then we can go to healthcare systems or communities and say, look, this actually, we know that it evolved and we know that it changed, but we know what it is and we know what it can do, and it has a positive benefit.
Okay, looks amazing, and I'm happy to be on that way in this area, and it's crazy. 1 year ago with AI was amazing, but now we can do so much more things, and health need it. I believe totally on it. So is there a question I didn't ask you yet? You would love to give an answer about NPIs, AI, future, innovation?
I think, I think one of the things, one of the real positive things that we have at this moment in time, it's an opportunity.
Right.
Partly driven by COVID. COVID really shone a light on the importance of behaviors and the importance of NPIs. So most governments suddenly stood up and went, oh, we need to work this out. We have this aging population that are dragging all these comorbidities with them. That's going to put huge strain on a system that healthcare systems are already strained.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that prevention and whether it be primary to tertiary is where we need to be focusing. The problem is budget-wise, we can't do that in the same way that we've built our current healthcare systems. So here, I think, is where NPIs really have a huge opportunity. I think AI is going to be a huge facilitator of being able to do that, do it efficiently and smartly, and learn the lessons of how we've built a healthcare system that creaks a lot now.
Yeah.
And so, I'd say the one thing that I would flag finally is just to say that's the window that we have to work with, and that MPIs are positioning themselves, and the MPIS is positioning itself to really play a huge role in fundamentally changing how healthcare and health is managed moving forward.
Agree with you. Last question. Do you have a favorite NPI?
I don't. Though I come from a department it's a health kinesiology and physical and applied physiology department. So physical activity has always been as a behavior focus.
Right.
Has always been something that we've done a lot of. but really, we intervene at many levels, so it's very, very cool. We have a whole program around training and healthcare practitioners to be better at delivery, which is an intervention unto itself, the training component and so on. Yeah, so I don't have a favorite. What the great thing about behavior change, it influences so many different things, and we work at so many different levels.
That's amazing,
It's about applying our science in a very rigorous way and trying to make positive change wherever we can.
Positive. We'll finish with this word. I think should to be optimist, positive, and impact about the life in this beautiful world. So thank you so much, Simon, and have a great day.
Excellent.
Enjoy Paris, and
Merci.
have a nice comeback in Canada. See you.
Excellent.
Ciao, ciao.